Hi! Welcome to the very first episode of Katie's Book Club, where I read a story, watch the movie adaptation, and definitively answer that ever-present question, was the movie better than the book? As always, it's me, your host, Katie. To kick things off, I am starting with Roderick Thorpe's Nothing Lasts Forever, or as most of us know it, Die Hard. Just to refresh your brains, Die Hard, the movie, is about John McClane, your average cop who finds himself at the wrong place at the wrong time when Hans Gruber and his gang of German thieves masquerade as terrorists and take over the Nakatomi building on Christmas Eve in an attempt to steal $640 million in bearer bonds. McClane, who's there visiting his estranged wife, manages to avoid being rounded up and, with the help of one good cop played by Carl Winslow, ultimately takes down Gruber by shooting him out a window on the top floor of the building. And yeah, other things happen too, but good gracious, it's hard to summarize a movie succinctly, and I really need to catch my breath. At first glance, Nothing Lasts Forever has a lot in common with Die Hard. Most of the action sequences, for example, were taken directly from the book. The elevator shaft shenanigans, the barefoot broken glass, even the Beretta he straps to his back and uses to kill Gruber, all of that was in there. However, there are several big differences, so let's start with what worked. In the book, John McClane is actually Joe Leland, which, kind of feels like a superfluous change, but hey, John McClane sounds a lot like John Wayne, and I guess you can't really argue with that logic. I'm not sure if it was their logic, but if it was, you can't argue with it. Also in the book, Leland is an older, retired, grizzled detective. Look, I've got nothing against old people, but making McClane an average in every way protagonist was a totally smart change. McClane wasn't some seasoned, retired guy who'd seen it all. He was actually, kinda dumb. But that was important. He wasn't Schwarzenegger or Stallone or any of the other big movie heroes of the 80s. He was a refreshing change, a middle-class everyman who is frequently wrong but still wins. He is the underdog. He's you. He's me. We are John McClane. Yippee-ki-yay, Mom and Daddy. In the movie, Gruber is a thief pretending to be a terrorist, but in Nothing Lasts Forever, he actually is a terrorist. However, they aren't there to steal money. In the book, they're not at the Nakatomi building, they are at the Klaxon Corporation, a shady oil company. Gruber and his gang are looking for documents that will publicly expose the Klaxon Corporation's corrupt dealings with the Chilean dictatorship, and plan to dump the $6 million in cash that they got from those dealings off the top of the building, which, fun fact, was the inspiration for all that paper we see flying through the air at the end of Die Hard. Books are great. Look, I am all for interesting moral ambiguity, but not in my diehards. Making the bad guys more cut and dry was a totally smart change. In Nothing Lasts Forever, the line between right and wrong is ambiguous. And while that does make for compelling literature, it's definitely a bit too convoluted for a 1988 summer blockbuster. At the end of a movie, you want to leave saying, yay, the good guy won! Not, there are no heroes, life is complicated and God is dead! The subplot running through all of Die Hard is John trying to get back together with his wife Holly. But in the book, Leland is visiting his daughter Stephanie, and instead of being just an innocent bystander, turns out that young Stephanie was actually coked out and a key player in the shady Klaxon deal. Oh, and spoiler alert, in the book, Stephanie falls to her death along with Gruber. It was dope. Yeah, I'd say that's another good change. After 2 hours and 12 minutes of almost non-stop action, Hollywood deserves its happy ending. It's a Christmas movie, for crying out loud. Hero wins back his wife is way better than hero's coked out daughter dies, but happy holidays. In Nothing Lasts Forever, Al definitely reads as a different character than the one we see in Die Hard. In the book, he is young and confident and doesn't carry all the baggage of his movie counterpart.
I shot a kid.
He's still the only good cop on the ground that Leland can trust. However, in the book, he does something absolutely bananas. At the end of Die Hard, Al saves McClane by killing terrorist Carl. But at the end of Nothing Lasts Forever, when Carl shoots at Leland, Al saves him by shoving his jerk boss into the line of fire. That's right. He uses someone else, another cop, as a human shield, which changes Al from a kind, hard-working good cop to a full-blown maniac. And when Leland looks at him, shocked, Book Al just says, "He died a hero. Don't you forget it." I mean, come on, this would have been a perfect opportunity for Leland to say, "No, he didn't. he died hard. But hey, I wasn't around to write books back then, so here we are with yet another missed opportunity. Oh shoot, that would have been such a good name for this show. The point is, I think Die Hard did itself a solid by leaving that part out. It's much cleaner to simply end the story believing that our heroes made the right choices and aren't, hella bat crazy. Now, as much as we all love Die Hard, I would be remiss if I didn't talk about some of the changes that don't work. In the book, Gruber and McClane don't come face to face till the very end, which checks out because if they had, one of them would have died. That's why it makes no goddamn sense that Die Hard added a scene where Hans meets McClane and pretends to be a hostage, while McClane pretends he doesn't know he's pretending to be a hostage. Why wouldn't either of them have just taken that golden opportunity to kill the other? Gruber could have shot McClane, and McClane unnecessarily endangered the lives of everyone in and around the building. Now, let's be clear. Alan Rickman is a god, and I will challenge any of you to prove me wrong. And yeah, that scene is dope as but that doesn't mean it makes any sense from a storytelling standpoint. Nothing Lasts Forever has like 3 female terrorists to Die Hard's none, and I feel like that change is kind of a mixed bag. I mean, sure, from a PC marketing standpoint, I understand that violence against women is unpalatable, and obviously I support that. However, I couldn't help but bristle that they were totally taken out of the movie. I mean, come on! Don't push us into a corner! A woman can be a bad guy too! And what kind of example is that? Think about all the little girls out there who grew up thinking that they can't be terrorists. It's rude. I would have loved to see some female terrorists is my point. Although I guess the book isn't really a friend to women either, it's pretty sexist. And while Leland does spend most of the book reluctant to kill women, he eventually snaps and describes shooting the bitch in the forehead right above the bridge of her nose. Yeah, I guess it'd be pretty hard to keep rooting for McClane after that. Probably best that Die Hard left that part out. But I maintain that at least some of the terrorists could have been women. As I said earlier, in Nothing Lasts Forever, the line between right and wrong is ambiguous. That's the point of the story. But if, in Die Hard, McClane is fighting against a team of righteous renegades exposing corruption instead of a bunch of no-good, dirty thieves, would have been hard to root for him. If Al kills his boss so that McClane can live, he doesn't find redemption. And if the Holly stand-in is a crook, wouldn't we, kind of want her to die? Remember, this was pre-Breaking Bad. Back then, we generally liked our stories to be black and white, with bad guys we could hate and good guys we could root for. It's harder to enjoy a shoot-'em-up when the bad guy is Robin Hood. But if you remove all that moody moral ambiguity and only leave the action sequences, are you really doing the source material justice? In this case, our official answer is no. But thank God, because Die Hard is a f***ing great movie. Well, that about does it for me here today on this very first episode of Katie's Book Club. I hope I have impressed you all with my smarts. Tune in next time for some other super topical book movie combination. I guess it would have been helpful for me to decide that ahead of time before I shot this so that I could tell you and you could read ahead and stuff. Oh well, live and let learn or whatever. This was fun. Hey, thanks for watching that video. If you want to subscribe, hit that big C in the middle, and if you want to watch more videos, hit one of the 2 boxes on the right. Also, don't forget to hit the notification bell icon below so YouTube will notify you when we have a new video. I did that in one breath.